Announced to the world in 2017, the Great Pyramid Big Void is one of the most fascinating archaeological discoveries of the modern era, and on finding out some new information about it this week, it's time to revisit the subject once again. For decades many of us have wanted to know if there are any hidden chambers or passageways inside the Great Pyramid, and although there are some clues in the stonework that still need investigating, as well as some anomalies recorded in geophysical surveys, a new, major inner structure has not been found inside the Great Pyramid since the 19th century. But that was before the year 2016, because now, thanks to a state-of-the-art technique called muography, scientists from the Scan Pyramids project have discovered a small void and a big void. But since their discovery, we haven't heard a great deal, so what's happening? Do we know anything more? Well, the size and shape of the big void has been refined, and in this video I'll reveal what the experts believe the big void could look like. All images and footage come from Google Images and the below sources for educational purposes only. Please subscribe to Ancient Architects, like the video, and please leave a comment below. On Monday, November 2017, Nature magazine published an amazing discovery made by a team of physicists and engineers who discovered the existence of two hidden areas inside the Great Pyramid in Egypt, the Pyramid of Khufu. Until now, these researchers have not found a way to reach this place in order to know what is inside it and what is its purpose, because these two regions have no entrance or exit, and they are surrounded by rocks on all sides. And before I tell you how, if you are still new to the channel, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, click on the bell, and activate all notifications to see the new videos. I hope you share and like the video so that it reaches more people and benefits from it. Welcome, I am Cleopatra's channel. The Pyramid of Khufu was built from about 4,580 years, and the goal was to ensure the immortality of the pharaoh after his death. Khufu was not an ordinary king, but the ancient Egyptians believed that he was a god. That is why his death was not something normal for them. And they decided to build a monument for him so that the immortal remains of a person who would link the bridges between heaven and earth would be placed in it. And this is what made them build a very huge pyramid befitting his position. 146 meters high. Because the ancient Egyptians believed that when the king died, he would rise to the sky in the boat of the god Ra, and that is why he was in the sun boats around the pyramid, and that the king would rise to the sky in order to remain a star next to the stars of the king of the other world, Osiris, in the Orion star group. The stars of Orion, and although researchers and scientists have been studying the pyramids for hundreds of years, but to this day they are discovering new secrets. Residents of Pyramids, or the Pyramid Survey, and this is an international cooperation between the Heritage Preservation and Innovation Project in Egypt, Cairo University and the French Institute, in which they use very modern techniques from the world or particle physics as an attempt to reach new mysteries and secrets inside the pyramids. And the beautiful thing about using particle physics is that they can work like or scan the structure of the pyramid, just as we do X-rays on our body, exactly like that, and these scientists used cosmic rays coming from space and used X-rays of the entire structure of the pyramid, and this is because when we do X-rays, the radiation passes through our body and penetrates the tissues, but it partially stops when it collides with objects that have a high density in our bony body, and this makes the X-ray machine capture the shadow that the bone casts from the fall of these rays on it. In a project or hierarchical survey, scientists did not use X-rays, but they used cosmic rays, which remain like sprays of particles without the high atoms. The energy that passes through our entire planet throughout the day, and a physicist from the Sela Institute. Theoretical particles and cosmology say that cosmic rays are formed due to very violent cosmic processes, such as the explosion of stars, which shoot nuclei with them through the universe at speeds close to the speed of light. The atoms coming from space collide with the atoms in our atmosphere at a terrible speed. They explode and result in the spread of subatom particles that make up all the materials in the universe, such as electrons, positrons, neutrinos, muons, and others. This process is similar to what scientists do in particle accelerators such as the Large Hadron Collider in CERN. The particles that are produced from this process have a very short lifespan, which means that they disintegrate and decompose in parts of a second, but muons are the version that has a large mass of electrons, and their mass is equal to solid and 7 times the mass, and this makes them heavy and stable particles sufficiently, and they hold up until they reach the surface of the Earth before they decompose. Thousands of these muons collide with our bodies every second without us feeling them, and these muons reach the Earth at a speed of 80 and 90% of the speed of light, and this terrible speed makes them exposed to the time dilation that caused Einstein to exist, so they confirm special relativity when he said that the faster the speed of any body, the greater each time does not slow down or stretch on it, and if it reaches the speed of light, time depends on it completely. That is why muons that walk at 80-90% of the speed of light, time passes more slowly. The speed of light, time passes on it slower than it passes on us. That's why even though these muons are supposed to decompose in only 2 microseconds, that is, 2 on a million parts of a tongue, and this time makes them drop from the atmosphere, evaporating about 6 meters before they die, but because they move at a very high speed, this makes their life longer because they age much more slowly, like what happened to the hero of the Entertainer movie when he traveled a not long period in space, and when he returned, he found his daughter, who was a child before he traveled. She was 6 old and he is still the same age, and this is because he was traveling at high speeds in space. He also descended on a planet whose gravity is large, so time passed more slowly than the passage of a planet, so when he came back, he was almost the same age as he is, and his daughter became 6 old women. They pass through the objects whose mass is low, but the objects whose mass is high, they cannot count and absorb them, and this is what made the researchers working on a project or the pyramidal survey put sensors that capture these muons inside and outside the structure of the pyramid, and after a while they collected the data that the muon detectors located inside and outside the structure of the pyramid Khufu, and through it, they were able to make a map of the voids in the pyramid, and through the pattern of muons that the detectors monitored, they were able to see 2 areas completely inside the pyramid, and these are not rocky areas with a small thickness. Researchers have not yet been able to determine if these secret rooms were empty or there was something inside them. The problem is that these hidden areas have no way to reach them inside the pyramid. The interior of the pyramid does not reach these areas. Scientists have discovered 2 voids, one large and located above the greatest hall or the largest gallery that leads to the room that is believed to be the room of King Khufu, and this hidden room is 30 meters long and 6 meters high, which means that it is sufficient for the size of 3 large buses, and scientists have not yet determined what is in this large area. Is it one room or a group of small rooms next to each other? And they hope that this room is the burial room of the lost mummy of King Khufu. And scientists discovered another void, but it is small, located above the main entrance to the pyramid, and Hani Hellel, vice president of the Catalyst Institute, on the terrace, who runs the pyramid's residence project or the pyramid survey, that at the present time we cannot dig ceilings in the void that we discovered, and we must use non-destructive techniques, which will give us a complete picture of located within these areas, and as soon as we are able to accurately determine the locations of these voids, because the location of these secret rooms is not clear with high accuracy, because the muons gave a blurry picture of the existence of a void in these areas, and when we determine, either exactly, it is possible at that time. But we dig a small hole and enter a drone to explore it, and a World Antiquities presented Maskovich at Johns Hopkins University saying that the 2 voids that were discovered by these countries may be their purpose as an engineering necessity to reduce the weight of the structure of the pyramid. An Egyptologist Peter Manuel from Harvard University says that this amazing discovery is likely to help us more that we collect information about the Great Pyramid. It is possible that if these voids appeared, new chambers inside the pyramid would provide us with new clues about how the pyramid was built. These hidden voids may contain pharaonic treasures, which would have survived the theft and looting that the Great Pyramid was subjected to years ago, and these 2 voids represent the last part that was not discovered inside the Pyramid of Khufu. Really, the thing that fascinates me the most in science is its applications. I mean, who would have imagined that we could use the cosmic rays that come from the explosion of stars that are hundreds or millions of light years away from us? I mean, billions of kilometers. A year like this I finished.